As ICE tightens its noose around undocumented immigrants in LA, people are hitting back. But what happens when authorities arrest a protest leader? And how will it affect those being detained? Today, we're going deep into LA to find out. Reporting from the front lines of the immigration battle in the US, this is our show. In today's show, we'll be discussing the latest news coming out of Los Angeles, where massive protests have erupted against ICE raids. Make sure to watch the whole video and let us know what you think about the situation in the comments below. We want to hear your voice. Also, before we start, please hit that like button so you can stay up to date with all of our news. Alright, let's dive right in. The streets of LA have been a battleground as thousands unite against ICE raids. As the recent raids intensified, communities are coming together to demand justice and raise awareness about the impact of these raids on families and businesses. In this episode, we'll take a closer look at the situation on the ground, the impact on local businesses, and the overall atmosphere in LA. We'll also discuss the possible outcomes of this conflict and what it means for the future of immigration reform in the US. So make sure to watch until the end. But first, let's begin with the latest updates. Several arrests were made during the protests against the ICE raid. This incident has sparked outrage and grief within the community, highlighting the personal toll these raids take on families and individuals. Despite the challenges, protesters remain resolute in their opposition to the raids, demanding accountability and an end to the practice. Let's take a deeper look at what went down. As tensions rise over the recent ICE raids, many are wondering why the agency would take such drastic measures. To understand the situation better, it's essential to know why ICE conducts these raids and what they hope to achieve through them. One of the primary reasons behind these raids is to apprehend undocumented immigrants who have been convicted of serious crimes. ICE believes that by carrying out these raids, they can remove individuals who pose a threat to public safety from the streets. Additionally, these raids aim to deter others from entering the country illegally and encourage undocumented immigrants already in the US to voluntarily leave. However, critics argue that these raids often target individuals without criminal records, causing fear and uncertainty within immigrant communities. They contend that instead of addressing the root causes of illegal immigration, these raids only serve to punish those seeking a better life for themselves and their families. It's important to consider both perspectives as we continue to discuss this complex issue. The recent ICE raids in LA have had a profound impact on local businesses. Many have been forced to close their doors due to the loss of undocumented workers who are now detained or in hiding. The economic impact on these businesses is significant, but so too is the emotional toll on business owners who have lost valuable employees and the sense of community that comes with it. These raids have created a climate of fear and uncertainty, making it difficult for businesses to operate as usual. The sudden disappearance of key employees has disrupted operations, leading to lost productivity and revenue for small businesses already struggling to stay afloat. This disruption can be devastating, potentially leading to closures and the loss of jobs for remaining employees. Moreover, the emotional toll on business owners cannot be overlooked. The stress and anxiety of not knowing whether their employees will return, or if they themselves may be targeted by ICE raids, can take a heavy toll on their mental health and well-being. The raids have also impacted customer loyalty, with many customers choosing to avoid businesses they perceive as vulnerable or at risk of closure. This has resulted in a significant drop in sales and revenue for some businesses, making it even more challenging for them to stay open. Overall, the ICE raids have had a devastating impact on local businesses and threatening their very survival, and creating a climate of fear and uncertainty that will likely persist for the foreseeable future. As the situation continues to evolve, it remains to be seen how these businesses will adapt and recover from the profound impact of the recent raids. The events that transpired during the protests serve as a stark reminder of the very real dangers faced by undocumented immigrants in the United States. Those living without legal status often live in constant fear of being separated from their families and deported from the only country they may have ever known. The images of children being ripped away from their parents at the border have become a haunting symbol of this harsh reality. Such traumatic experiences not only have a devastating impact on the individuals involved, but also on their families and communities. It is crucial to remember that behind each statistic and news headline are real people with hopes, dreams, and loved ones who deserve compassion and understanding. Amid the ongoing debate surrounding immigration reform, it is essential to approach the discussion with empathy and a willingness to acknowledge the humanity of those caught in this complex web of laws and regulations. Let's take a closer look at what happened to one of the protest leaders. Many are asking what led to his arrest and what charges he may be facing. According to local law enforcement, the individual was taken into custody due to an outstanding warrant related to immigration violations. The specific details surrounding the warrant are not publicly available, but it is understood that it has been an issue for several years. His arrest came as a surprise to many who were unaware of any prior issues and have sparked outrage and grief within the community. Supporters and fellow activists are demanding answers and transparency from law enforcement. They argue that the timing of the arrest during a sensitive community event was deliberate and intended to disrupt the protest. The arrest has raised concerns about the tactics employed by law enforcement and the potential for abuse of power. Some believe that the individual was intentionally targeted to send a message to other protesters and discourage them from speaking out. The situation has heightened tensions and distrust between law enforcement and the community, making it increasingly difficult to find common ground and work towards solutions. As the investigation into the arrest continues, it remains to be seen what further revelations will come to light and how this incident will impact the ongoing protests and calls for immigration reform. The arrest of a protest leader has sent shockwaves through the community, raising questions about accountability and the use of excessive force. Many are calling for a thorough investigation into the incident to ensure that justice is served and appropriate action is taken if any wrongdoing is found. The situation has highlighted the need for law enforcement to build trust and understanding with the communities they serve, particularly in light of the ongoing immigration debate. As the investigation unfolds, it is hoped that it will lead to positive change and prevent similar incidents from occurring in the future. Tensions are high in LA as residents come together to fight for justice. But how is this movement evolving? What started as peaceful demonstrations has now escalated into heated confrontations with authorities. The arrest of a protest leader has only fueled the fire, leaving many to wonder what the next move will be. As the situation continues to develop, it is important to remain informed and aware of the latest updates. Stay tuned for more developments in this ongoing story. Alright, now let's talk about the impact of the increased ICE activity on the local economy. The recent surge in ICE raids has had a significant impact on the local economy. Many businesses have been forced to close their doors due to the loss of undocumented workers who have been detained or are now working in hiding. The economic impact of these closures is substantial, particularly in industries that rely heavily on undocumented labor, such as agriculture, construction, and domestic work. The sudden unavailability of a skilled and willing workforce has disrupted operations and led to a decline in productivity and revenue for businesses. Additionally, the fear of potential raids has created a climate of uncertainty, making it difficult for businesses to plan for the future and invest in growth. The emotional toll on business owners who have lost valuable employees and the sense of community that comes with it cannot be overlooked. The raids have created a climate of fear and uncertainty, making it difficult for businesses to operate as usual. The sudden disappearance of key employees has disrupted operations, leading to lost productivity and revenue. For small businesses already struggling to stay afloat, this disruption can be devastating, potentially leading to closures and the loss of jobs for remaining employees. The economic impact of these raids extends beyond the immediate loss of labor and revenue. The decreased economic activity has ripple effects throughout the local economy, impacting suppliers, distributors, and other businesses that rely on the affected industries. The raids have also resulted in a loss of tax revenue for local governments, exacerbating budget constraints and making it more difficult to provide essential services to the community. The social and economic fabric of the community has been torn apart, leaving many residents struggling to make ends meet and wondering about the future of their businesses and their families. Now, let's delve into the evolution of the protests. How did they start, and where are they headed? The protests began peacefully with community members coming together to raise awareness about the impact of ICE raids on families and businesses. However, as tensions rose and tensions escalated, the protests took a more heated turn, with some resorting to acts of vandalism and civil disobedience. The arrest of a protest leader further fueled the unrest, leaving many to question the tactics employed by law enforcement and the government's commitment to addressing immigration reform. Now many are demanding justice and accountability, calling for an end to the raids and a path to citizenship for undocumented immigrants. The movement is growing, but it remains to be seen how it will evolve and what lasting impact it will have on the community and the nation as a whole. That does it for today's episode. Thank you for joining us as we continue to bring you the latest news from LA and across the nation. We've witnessed the anger, the frustration, and the unwavering determination of the people of LA as they stand up against ICE raids. If you want to stay updated with our latest news, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Also, please don't forget to like this video and share with your friends and family. Your support means everything to us. Once again, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.